Hi everyone, welcome to another session of Media TV. Cool. My name is Alumni and got a couple of news for you this evening. Without much ado, the first one has to do with the five Chinese men released after lobby by ex-immigration. Now, what really makes this quite interesting is the fact that these guys, just like every other place, you have every country has its own immigration law. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, they seem to actually take it for granted. Like, well, in other people's country, they actually take it extremely seriously. But once it's come to our own country, we kind of interfere. We don't allow the rule of law to actually work. This is the reason why this edition is really, really interesting. Let me bring this up. Every time we put something, a law in place, it always happens that somebody that feels that they are above the law, they will either subvert it, they will not allow it to work. Now, it says the five men were arrested on August 12, 2025, during a joint sting operation by immigration authorities and the Department of State Services, DSS, and subsequently held in detention facility at the NIS headquarters, Sauka, along Airport Road in Abuja. Five Chinese nationals arrested by the Nigerian Immigration Service have been released. This was Sahara Reports that actually brought this up. The five men were arrested on August 12, 2025, during a joint sting operation by immigration authorities and the Department of State Security and subsequently held in detention. The five nationals initially faced deportation under Section 44 of the Immigration Act. Zhang Damo, 46, sales manager charged with quota trafficking. Section 38. Queen Jane, 48, sales manager on TWP, charged with visa misuse. Section 56. Tank Pan, 41, interpreter on TWP, charged with visa misuse. Section 56. Link Jianfeng, 52, business manager on TWP, charged with visa misuse. Section 56. Gao Xingheng, 40, sales manager on business visa, charged with visa misuse. Section 56. Their release follows alleged, see the word, alleged lobbying by a retired senior immigration officer. Source told Sahara Reporters, so our source is the Sahara Reporters on this one. It was a retired DIG that used his influence to quietly secure the release of the five Chinese nationals arrested during the enforcement exercise, one of the sources said. The development has sparked outrage among observers who warn that insider protection is emboldening expatriate companies to flout Nigerian laws with impunity, which is really true. If we have these laws in place and it's not respected, you come down to the UK, come and try it. Then you will know that there is nothing like, you want to cover something, you will try. The source added, the Nigerian Immigration Service has uncovered massive irregularities at Nigerian Royal Castle Ceramic Company Limited, located in Shagamu, Ogun State, exposing the company as a hub of immigration, labor, and corporate law violations. Established in 2022 with only a Corporate Affairs Commission registration, the company has operated outside Nigerian regulatory framework from inception. Our NIS findings reveal the Royal Castle Ceramic never applied for or obtained a business permit or establishment quota requirement under Section 36 and Section 38 of the Immigration Act 2015 for any expatriate company operating in Nigeria. Instead, the company relied on expatriates deployed from other firms without lawful transfer or quota slot approvals, a practice categorized as quota trafficking. Some of the expatriates were recruited under inappropriate visa categories, including business visas and temporary work permits. TWT, which do not permit permanent or managerial employment. Equally troubling is the company refusal to comply with statutory reporting obligations since its establishment. Royal Council has failed to file the mandatory monthly returns to the Nigerian Immigration Service and also defaulted on tax remittance. I don't know why it's like troubling. It's not troubling. I mean, a lot of the organizations, this thing happen regularly, not just within immigration. It's generally across anything that has to do with legislation across the country. So he said, reason for the arrest. Going into details why the Chinese national are all playing critical roles in the company were arrested during the enforcement operation. The source said the offences highlight the depth of immigration abuse at Royal Castle Ceramics. Zhang Damo is a staff member of another company but is illegally working at Royal Castle as sales manager without quota approval. His case falls squarely under quota trafficking, one of the sources said. Jin entered Nigeria with a temporary work permit, TWP, but was engaged in activities far beyond the scope of his permit. Lin Jianfeng entered on a business visa, but took up full employment in violation of visa restrictions. Tang Pan entered with temporary work permit, but was employed as company interpreter, a role not covered by his permit. Liu Shenheng entered on a business visa, was found working contrary to visa conditions under Section 56 of the Immigration Act 2015. This violation constitutes misuse of visa and permits. Authorities confirmed that the expatriates were to face prosecution, repatriation, and stop listing to prevent future re-entry into Nigeria. So, I mean, okay, somebody then said, sources further accused the retired Deputy Comptroller General of working behind the scenes to secure the quiet release of the 5 arrested expatriates. Sadly, such interference emboldened illegal operators and demoralized officers who risked their safety to enforce the law, one of the sources said. I mean, if you look at it, in other areas, the same thing, the police will arrest a kidnapper, then with evidence, then before you know it, within days or a week, the kidnappers are released, and the kidnappers will go to the area where they were operating or to the house of their victim to go and show them that, see, we are above the law. So this, I mean, I know that we're actually talking about immigration here, but this is one of the key things. Each time we have interference, orders from above, this is what we get. So I don't know what is troubling about it. Nothing. However, the worker insisted they possessed permanent residence permit, while one of them had only just arrived in Nigeria a week before his arrest. The workers also pointed to the fact that the NIS announced an amnesty window on July 28, 2025, allowing overstayers and undocumented to regularize their immigration status. However, they claimed that despite this policy, the detained Chinese will continue to face threats of deportation and the forced closure of their factory, even before an investigation or legal proceedings have been concluded. Obviously, there are vested interests, in what these people are doing by a above order from above person. When contacted, the immigration spokesman, Akisola Akinlabis, had said, all those allegations I can tell you are false. If you see us arresting any foreigner, you should know they have done something wrong. It is in our mission to ensure more foreign investment in the country. Also, a senior NIS official who said he was familiar with the matter insisted that security operatives lawfully arrested the 5 Chinese nationals for working in Nigeria without valid immigration documents. The truth about the issue is that these people are criminals, and that was why immigration officials arrested them. There is nothing like targeting or that someone is behind it, the top immigration source had said. These people are in Nigeria without any valid documents. They are carrying out business without any permits. Without any permits. But we have a lot of people that come into Nigeria now without permits. Anyway, don't let me even start with that. So I don't know when that will become a big issue. We've always had this issue. The source continued, on their amnesty, many people did not understand how it worked. The amnesty is for foreigners already in Nigeria, but could not revalidate their papers because of one issue or another. It is not for illegal immigrants like this suspect. And NIS asked where those who want amnesty to apply through our website, but do you know that none of them applied? What this signifies is that they don't care. They thought they could work in Nigeria without any valid documentation. When there's no documentation, they can carry out illegal acts, crimes without any trace. Why should they bother? Because one of God at the top will come and sort them out. Isn't it? So we've got the answer already. You see? So when we actually go to other countries, Nigerians are expected to obey the law without fear or favor. But in Nigeria, come, there's no issue. We are quite good. We are very happy to just, business as usual, just continue. That won't be an issue. Right, moving swiftly on. So we have, so we're going to Ekiti State, where the sun rises and the grasses are green at all times. So it's getting to be election time, and things are already happening over there. So let's bring this up. There's such a very powerful confidence in the Hukubent, the current governor, Oyebanji. I can assure you that I told somebody that I said whoever is going to be, if at all anybody wants to be the current governor, they will try it. They will really indeed. You know, I told someone that this man has been seen as somebody that's very hands-on. He's everywhere. He has projects that he's actually unveiling. He's up and doing. I just don't see any competition on the horizon. I'm not an APC member. So it says, Ekiti 2026, EKSU Alumni Association present APC governorship nomination form to Oyebanji. I will continue to make you proud, says the governor. The Ekiti State University Alumni Association on Thursday formally presented the All Progressive Congress expression of interest and nomination forms to Governor Biodun Oyebanji as part of their support for the governor's re-election in the June 2026 governorship election in the states. The presentation of the forms, which took place at the governor's office at Ekiti, came barely 4 days after the Alumni Association under aegis of EKSU Alumni Solidarity Group for BAO purchased the form at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja. Leaders of the Alumni Association said the gesture was driven by the outstanding performance of the governor, to which they would like him to reenact in his second term in office. Speaking while presenting the forms to the governor at the brief colorful event, the live president of the association, who is also the Senate leader, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, described Governor Oyebanji as a pace-setter and applauded him for his exemplary leadership and remarkable achievements, which have drawn echoes and support from association and other critical stakeholders in the state. The Senate leader noted that Oyebanji's performance in a critical sector of the state such as infrastructure, education, agriculture, human capital development has distinguished himself as a visionary leader that should be supported and encouraged to continue in the best interest of the Ekiti people. The patron, who explained that these outstanding achievements were the reason the association decided to purchase the nomination form for the governor, stressed that Oyebanji leadership has not only brought pride to the alumni, but also transformed the fortunes of the state. The Senate leader urged the association to be vibrant campaigners of the good work the governor is doing, noting that some political elements have resolved to mischievously continue to attack the government on social media without any justification. He said the governor, working in collaboration with National Assembly members, has been engaging appropriate authorities, including the presidency, on the affected federal roads, which had resulted in the recent award of 2 of the federal roads. I don't think I actually need to even go anymore. The truth of the matter is that, you know, like I said, I'm not an APC uh, member, but this man is really doing some remarkable job. He's doing a lot of work. He is, truly. Um, he's everywhere. He's very compassionate. He's helping people out. He's always there. You can see he's open doing. And truly, we actually need leadership like this. So whoever is actually going to come in there, they will try. They will try. So moving swiftly on, let's move to the next one. So, um, okay, this is a very sad one. I'm sure quite a lot of people know about the Nollywood producer Big Max. You know, dies days after abduction in Enugu. What is going on in the southeast? I do not understand. This is this is it's all of a sudden, there are people that say they are fighting um, for freedom in the southeast. So, is that how we fight for freedom? Honestly, I just don't understand. How can anybody justify? This man was abducted recently, and the next thing within this, they said they've actually shot him. So he said, so the news that actually came, he said Nollywood producer Big Mac dies days after abduction in Enugu State. Victor Tobichukwu, Big Max Okoli, a Nollywood producer, has died days after he was abducted in Enugu. It was gathered that Big Max, who is close manager of BB Niger Season 10 housemate, Bright Morgan, was kidnapped on Friday, August 15th. Wow. So just last Friday. Opposite Intachi Osa, a popular spot in Enugu State, and was later confirmed dead after being shot. Fellow filmmaker Ben Castle broke the heartbreaking news on Instagram, describing Big Mac as a man of integrity who stood out in an industry often plagued with betrayal and backstabbing. In her tribute, she wrote, "It's hard for some of us to see those who genuinely wish us well. You always dropped words of encouragement even when I was not silent. In an industry of snakes and scorpions, you stood different. All you wanted was to make good films. You were a cool, calm, and intelligent one. To be kidnapped and killed is a very heart-wrenching way to leave this earth. For all the times you made me laugh and looked out for me, thank you. If you think I have something you desperately need, tell me directly or indirectly. I will stay far from it or hand it over to you. Life is no competition. Being poisoned twice and unable to walk for a while is enough. You can all stop at that. I have no strength to fight anyone. I just want to shoot good films. Alive. I'm tired. We can all live and prosper. Good night, Vic." This is heartbreaking. Why do people just do this sort of crazy stuff? What is it that this guy could have done to deserve this? He has his whole life ahead of him. And those who have done this now, so they think they have a plan for their life. I think the people who have actually unalived this man, there is no way, there is absolutely no way that they will not receive the optimal judgment of God. They will eat and they will not be full. They will drink and they will still remain thirsty. Anybody that could have, that would have been involved in this, I don't even think this is just, a random thing. I think it was deliberate. Why shoot him? Why? Even if he had even struggled or anything, there was absolutely no need. You need to see some of the things that is coming out from the southeast, from Anambra and all that. What sort of madness is this? What is going on? Why is this? Why is it that you know these brilliant Igbo people, young, dynamic, are just being unalive in the southeast? Is it jealousy or what? I don't understand this. Honestly, I don't. Maybe somebody, you guys out there, you can, put it in the comments. Maybe you know what we don't know. As somebody from the southwest, I don't understand why, these young, dynamic, evil men and women are being killed. For what? Such a terrible state of affairs. It's really saddening. The last but not the least, this one really this one, in fact, it was the word, this one vexed me. Seriously, yes. The former chief of army staff, um, this is one thing I don't understand constantly. When people are in power, they have the opportunity to be able to effect some changes, make positive impact, you know, do things in a way that will make, so that they will have, at least do it. Even, okay, you want legacy problem. You know, it's an ex-army chief, Buratai, proposed COVID-style nationwide lockdown in Nigeria to flush out terrorists, bandits, kidnappers. Nigerian former chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, retired, has called for a nationwide lockdown as a strategy to tackle the country's worsening security crisis. Nigerian cultural tourism packages. Buratai suggested that the government adopt a lockdown similar to the one enforced during the COVID-19 pandemic, arguing that such drastic measures could help flush out terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers who have continued to terrorize communities across the country. We can lock down this country to make sure everybody concentrates and deal with this cankerworm called terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, herdsmen, armed robbery, and so on. Buratai stated that he stated this while featuring on Channel's TV Sunrise Daily program on Friday. Buratai recalled his previous warnings about the prolonged nature of the conflict. He also cited the example of the Maiduguri flood, where the country came together to support the affected people as a model for mobilizing resources to tackle insecurity. Burata's proposal comes amid growing concerns about the country's security situation, with many citizens calling for more decisive action to tackle the menace of banditry and terrorism. He said, "If you can remember, just before I left office, of course, immediately when I left office, I was appointed ambassador of the Republic of Benin. I sent a lot of warning that this insurgency may last longer. I don't want to quote the number of years that I mentioned, but I said it will last longer. It is a sort of warning that really needs to have a long-term plan. It's not something that you just wish away. For example, I'm not trying to give any excuse, but the point is, where there is a national crisis, we need to mobilize everybody, not just the military alone. Look at COVID-19, how much was spent, how much was invested into information, into communication, into advertising, and so on, into palliative, into a lot of preventative measures. So much that the whole nation was locked down because of COVID-19. But we can do the same thing. We can lock down this country to make sure everybody concentrates and deal with this cankerworm called terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, herdsmen. It's very fundamental, very important. I want to take also another example of Maiduguri flood last year. Wow, that the entire country was, actually took action and supported the Borno state government and people of Borno to bring relief to make sure that people were rehabilitated in the whole of the state, and it helped a lot. The same thing can be done to mobilize everybody to the northeast, to the northwest, psychologically, through social media, through the press, and so on. Individuals can support the community. Okay. Now, this is the question that I actually have, that I really, really want to really ask. And the question is this: where was the general? What did he do when he was in power under under the former regime, the former administration? Where was he? Why did he not come up with all of this? What did he come up with? Because if I remember quite correctly, I never heard of anything to say that let's lock down the country and face down this terrorism and all that. He never did. I can't remember. So he coming out now to say, well, this is what you do. I'm sorry. Pico, you're done. You've left. So go and enjoy your life. With all respect, sir, it's totally is not acceptable for you to come out with this now. You had the brief. He was given the power, the authority to be able to fish out all of this. He never actually said any of this. Yes, maybe he gave all the warning, let's do this. But to take a more decisive outline, he never did. If I remember quite correctly, General was known to play golf now. It's a bit like Nero playing the fiddle while Rome burned. So to come out now and say this, it's non-starters. Sorry. So just want to say thank you, everyone. So this is it, and tomorrow we're going to be back, same time, and we wish everybody, well, in the UK now, we have the bank holiday. So I wish everybody a great weekend. Godspeed, God bless, and see you guys tomorrow. And for those of us on NSPPD, so I wish all you guys, the NSPPD conference is going on. It's starting tomorrow. So for those who wants to go, so this is a shout out for NSPPD. Um, the conference is tomorrow, and that's it. So see you guys there. Anyway, and also we also have the program for tomorrow, which we under the program that we had earlier, which is on the big mic. Oni DV. It's about the African hair culture taking place in Bromley tomorrow. So I think if you actually check the information is actually out there. So if you want to actually attend, it's going to be a very rich one. It's going to be a wonderful time. So thank you. Good night and God bless.